Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode of Friday Night Pioneer, we're going to pioneer a Terminal Velocity Worldspine Wurm combo. So the idea of this deck is that we are going to cast Terminal Velocity, which puts an artifact or creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That permanent gains haste, and when this permanent leaves the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its mana value to each creature, and at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this creature. So what we're going to do is, we're going to Terminal Velocity and Worldspine Wurm, which it's trample, so haste, it gives a haste, and it's trample, so it does a 15-15 damage trample, and when it dies, we'll deal 15 actually no, I think it's mana value, so we'll deal 9 damage to the board first, because we get to organize our own triggers, and then we will summon 3/5/5 Wurms. So basically, we wipe the whole board, then we have leftover 3/5/5 Wurms for our opponent to deal with. 5/5 Wurm with trample, that is. So it's not easy to deal with, and this is basically lethal for most games on Pioneer. Now, of course, since we're doing Worldspine Wurm, we might as well do the good old Worldspine Wurm combo with Transmogrify, which we sacrifice or exile target creature, and the creature's controller basically reveal the top card of their library until they reveal a creature card and put it into play. That's it. Then, since the only creature we have in the deck is Worldspine Wurm, we're going to cheat out Worldspine Wurm, and that's what Transmogrify does. Now, traditionally, Transmogrify is already a very good card when we get out the Worldspine Wurm. It's very sticky and not very easy to remove. Our opponent, go for the throw or make a sacrifice it. Either way, he'll come back as 3/5/5s. But in the current metagame, because it is so proliferate, I guess that's the best word I can put it. There are a lot of bounce into the Flood Maul and things like that. So if we Transmogrify a Worldspine Wurm and it gets bounced, we kind of lose all of that effects. That's why Terminal Velocity is here, so that as we Transmogrify a Worldspine Wurm, now it's slammed into play. If our opponent chooses to bounce it, then we can Terminal Velocity it back into play, because after it's bounced, it will be in our hand. The rest of the deck really is just a lot of mana and card draw to help us get there. So that's kind of the idea. We get a lot of mana from the treasures in Courier's Briefcase. We also can get more mana from the treasures in Fable the Mirror Breaker, and we can get some mana from the channel side of Careful Cultivation. Good old Transmogrify combo. And the best part about all of these cards are they generate creatures, but they're not creatures themselves. So as they generate the creatures, we can Transmogrify our creature token into a Worldspine Wurm. So let's talk about our deck list. Alright, so early game, we got 4 Torch to Tower. Obviously, we need that against turn 1 Rat, turn 2 Rat. Pioneer is the new standard. And every standard deck that got banned or rotated always end up in Pioneer, and all those bad players are here with their Rat decks. So we got to get ready with our Torch to Tower. We also have 4 Volcanic Spite, because nothing says answering turn 1 Rat, turn 2 Rat like turn 1 Torch, turn 2 Spite, which is what I'm doing right now. So we're going to be able to kill their stuff. And Volcanic Spite is very good, because if we have a Worldspine Wurm in our hand, and we're normally if we have a Worldspine Wurm in our hand, we just want to toss it back with Spite. I know we want to Velocity it, but Velocity is 6 mana, so chances are we're not going to hold a Worldspine Wurm hoping that we get 2 6 mana. We're just going to try to draw into the Wurm once we have 6 mana, which is hard, but this deck should be able to do that because of our later on cards. So these are turn 1, turn 2 removal. Then we have our mana source in 4 Courier Briefcase and 4 Careful Cultivation. These are our mana sources that both cost 2 mana. Don't let the mana value here trick you. You will never cast a Careful Cultivation for its mana value. It's always a channel ability, because you can do it at the end of our opponent's turn. And we get a 1/1 green monk that has tap, add a green, so Landward Elf. Basically, for 2 mana, it's a flash speed Landward Elf, which I think is pretty good. Right, so that's our 2 mana play. 3 mana, another 2 mana play is our Bitter Reunion. Bitter Reunion is card draw. So if we have nothing else we're doing, we can always do the card draw and just toss Worldspine Wurm in our graveyard and draw 2 cards. Worldspine Wurm, once it gets tossed, it gets shuffled back, so we don't really lose much, but we get more card selection. So Bitter Reunion is good for that sense. And then later on, once Bitter Reunion is on board, let's say we have 5 mana, we can Transmogrify any one of our creature into the Worldspine Wurm and pay that extra mana to sacrifice Reunion to make it a hasty Wurm. A hasty 15-15 Wurm. So that's kind of the idea. And along with 3 Bitter Reunion, we also have 4 Fable the Mirror Breaker. It's just not a red deck in Pioneer if you're not running 4 Fable. Just always run 4 Fable. This card is broken. We get Treasure from the Goblin. We get to draw 2 or discard 2, draw 2. And we get to get a Kiki-Jiki. So yeah, all that in one card is insane. We also have more filtering in 2 Valka's Awakening, which is a MDFC, so it's backside is a land, but on the front side, we're gonna put any card from our hand in the bottom of our library and draw that many card +1. So if we're getting stuck on a bunch of terminal velocities, or getting stuck on a bunch of Worldspine Wurm, we can put them all back and draw that many cards +1 because it also includes the Valka that we're casting. So we don't go down a card by casting a Valka, which is pretty important in this deck as well. We're gonna be pretty low on value. We're just gonna kind of combo out the game. Then we have 4 Transmog, 4 Terminal Velocity, 4 Worldspine Wurm for the whole combo. Now, we're running 23 lands in the deck because we have 2 Valkas as well. So the land, we're going to have 1 Mountain, 1 Sokusin, 1 Forest, 1 Boseiju. These are monocolor lands. And we have 4 Copperline Gorge, 4 Stomping Ground, and 4 Thornspire Verge. Verge is pretty good because we have Stomping Grounds, so that it should be able to activate. And even if it doesn't activate, it still defaults red, which most of the deck is red. And then we have 1 Carplucent Forest. So we get enough green sources to get, Courier's Briefcase and 1 Careful Cultivation online, and that's really all we need. We also have 2 Mirrors, which can also act as our green source if we need to. And Mirrors can help us make Mites, which we can then Transmogrify. And we have 4 Mutavaults, which we can turn into a creature and Transmogrify as well. Don't forget, you don't need 6 mana to Transmogrify a Mutavault. You can tap the Mutavault himself, or itself, to turn it into a 2/2 creature. It doesn't matter if it's tapped. We can pay 4 mana to, Transmog our tap Mutavault into an untapped Worldspine Wurm as well. That's the whole idea of the deck. A very fun and fast combo. Let's see how well it can do in the current meta. Alright, our opponent is Janky. Huh. I'll show you, Janky. Wow, okay, opponent goes first. Not getting much out of this hand, but I think I still keep. At the worst, we'll just Mirrors them to death. At best, I get the Transmogrify, turn 4. I gotta draw it. We have Fables in the deck, right? So Fable always kind of pulls through. Now, our opponent is Omniscience sleeve. So, it's probably playing control here. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. We keep, obviously. We say hi. He's gonna be a slow opponent. That's always not fun. And being this slow with the Omniscience sleeve, he's probably the like a net deck combo player or mono red. It's one or the other. Teferi Avatar kind of leans toward mono red. Ironic, isn't it? I mean, being this slow, he's probably mono red, honestly. Can I stop him mono red? I don't have much. I got Volcanic Spite. I don't think I'm gonna Briefcase. Oh god, he's gonna rope turn 0. Yeah. This is what happens when Arena lets people who rope just do their thing and rope everybody. If only there's something else you can do. I don't know if there's a new pet from EOL. But I guess we're going first. Terminal Velocity. I probably shouldn't Mutavault turn 1 anyways. I'm not turning the Mutavault into a creature next turn. Probably Briefcase, maybe a Cultivation. I mean, Briefcase does ramp us while getting us a citizen. Oh, blue-white. I was entirely wrong. He is just a bad person. Entirely bad person. I mean, Teferi Avatar, blue-white, Omniscience, sleeves, probably Omniscience comboer. Yeah, Omniscience comboer it is. The Copperline Gorge here. I don't know if I'm gonna turn Mutavault live against him, so here's a Gorge. We are also a combo player, although our combo is not here yet. Well. Speaking of the devil. Let's see. We can cultivate this turn. Cool. If we cultivate this turn, we get to Worldspine next turn, right? It kills our creatures, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, do we just do this? Gains haste, so we get 15/15. It's not really lethal, but you can only put one, unfortunately. Look at the worms. It gets shuffled. And let's see if our worm does anything. Temporary lockdown. Our worm doesn't do anything. Bitter reunion. Yeah, let's try it. Didn't feel much like anything. Put the worm back. I do get my Fable. Ooh. Do I take him down to 1? Let's do it. He's at 1. He doesn't have omniscience yet. He wants to keep all his mana untapped. Okay, we'll play Fable. See what he does. Moraine, okay. He's gonna be at 1. I have 2 creatures attacking. What's your plan here? I guess GG is your plan. Take forever for your turn and just leave. Omniscience players. Now they're a plague on Pioneer as well. Alright, our opponent is TKB. Virtuous TKB. We go first. Literally nothing here, but, you know. You're gonna have to make do. The whole point of this deck is making do. Red. Red nothing. Cool. Red nothing help us Courier. They got a shock to our face? They may have a shock to our face. This sounds so familiar, the Courier Briefcase into a citizen. I think it's just a citizen. Oh, you're gonna shock my citizen. Is that how you play red, buddy? Hired Claw. Not wasting a treasure. Vow Cut, huh? That's just Fable. Fable is a very good card. I mean, our 2/2 is probably getting shocked again. I guess he has a lot of shocks in his hand. I'll take the 1. Let's see if he uses his mana. He does use his mana, then we'll kill it. Does he have a rage? He could have a rage here, right? That's fair, but I don't think I'm sacking Fable to this. No, didn't have a rage. Oh, well, it's 2 cards I'm going to discard. Careful Cultivation. I don't know if I want any of those. Valcut's okay, though. They're just dropping Mirrors? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna Valcut 4 cards, 2 cards, and I'll draw 3 cards. That's not great. It's not great, but it's... I might be able to Transmogrify if he taps out. It really depends on what he's doing, right? If he taps himself out, I'll have a chance. He doesn't tap himself out, so I don't have that chance that I thought I did. I could also make a Mirrors token, but I think drawing 3 cards. I was gonna say drawing 3 cards is just fine, but these are the 3 cards I drew? Alright, I don't think... I mean, Transmogrify is not going to work with him having 4 lands open. Probably going to kill my Reflection. Skullcrack. I can't gain life. Okay. I don't know what this is for. First, can't gain life. Deals 3 damage to target creature, or player, or planeswalker, which is not a creature. Manifold Mouse. You gonna Rockface Village it? Obliterating Bolt. Cool. I'm just not gonna let him bolt me. I don't think I need that either. No. Almost the wrong one. I mean... I will let this resolve first. Go to attack. Before it gets to my turn. There's a Mirrors token. Alright, so now I can exile a creature for this, right? It does not gain haste, so I'll also get 1 damaging. Here's a Wurm. Good luck. Well, mono red with all of your burn spells. How would you fire 15/15? 4. Oh, okay. That's 4 damage. What's next? Monstrous Rage. Alright, GG, I guess. Haha, goodbye. Now, our opponent is Rudy. Folks! Alright, whatever. We'll see what happens. Opponent goes first, so we're already behind. Green Elves. We're really behind. Do I want a Bitter Reunion? Or do I Volcanic Spite his elf? I'm probably going to spite his elf, depending on what he plays. Right? Alright. Yeah. We're spiting his elves. That's cool. I like a bunch of Fables. Nick those on nothing. That's beautiful. It's 4 mana. Oh, Gross Troll. Oh, Gross Troll is scary. Let's see. What do I toss here? Probably the Velocity. I'm not doing that. But I toss another Fable. I guess we toss the Sokas in. No, if we're going to toss anything, I might as well toss the Mirrors. Then we Transmog. Here we go. We got the worm. It's not legendary either. That means I can get 30 damage out next turn with the Fable. You got one turn. He's got white mana. That's no bueno. White mana's kind of scary. What could he have? Cavalier? Alright. That's fair. What do you reveal? He gets a Nykthos. But he can't activate a Nykthos with the lands he has. You want to attack? I don't think you want to attack. But hey, you know, to each his own. Let's get a red. Tap the Mutable. We'll get our Bitter Reunion now. Discard the Cultivation. Oh, those are some cards. Creatures I control gain haste. Well, that's 30 damage. Yeah, that's GG. That's how we do it. Those worms get spined. Alright, our opponent is R2D2 3P2. I don't understand the second half of that. We got a Transmog, we go first, so it's a start. Black. Cecil. Mox. Does he have something else? Oh god. Turn 1 Thoughtsees. There goes our Transmog. Alright. Since we're losing our Transmog, I mean, I still think we do this. The worm away. Fable. Have I told you the story about this dude that walks into a mirror? Dynabones. Terminal velocity. Yeah. I will put away 2 lands. I'm doing this so that he doesn't get the Mox Ember Man. Thoughtseize. I mean, I'll let him take the velocity. It's not really doing much by itself. Gotta push, go for the throw. Alright, can't protect that, but that's fine. We'll just get on board. We'll get on board and do stuff. Lockwing, which means he's not using his Mutable. You get a Stomping Ground. This is not gonna do much. I can copy this. This only has green. This also does not add mana, so... Bobarino! We get the T-Vot. Getting ourselves a T1000. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do much. This is the copy, right? No, he didn't block the Mutavault. He gets a free card draw. Very nice for him. How very nice for him. Oh, and a Praetor. Nope. Not gonna happen. So, yeah, this is like 3-4 mana. Mirrors can help me ramp a bit. Well, not ramp. Pressure a bit. Nah, he took 3. He can't play a second Giggs. Exile the top X card. What do you exile there? Velocity and Torch. Okay. Yeah. I got nothing for him to Velocity. Well, he's got nothing to Velocity. He can Torch something. Is he gonna attack? No attacks. Weird, I can't tap it for mana in response. I mean... I guess? I don't know. Not letting me draw cards. 2! Bob's gonna kill him. Cecil will also kill him. Discard 1 card to get 1 card. What do you get? Transmog? Go for it. Ah, he's getting all the best cards from my deck. Oh. You only keep 1. Dude, just come on. Alright, so if I attack, it's lethal, right? Because he can't block with Cecil, or he takes 2. I guess bad draws will still get there. Not even gonna play anything. He's at 1. If he attacks with Cecil, he dies. He can attack with Giggs to draw a card. No, just quits. Mono black. No match for it by bad draws. Alright, our opponent is Laser Fist. He's got a laser for a fist. Is that a good thing though? We get to go first. Stomping Ground, Copperline Gorge. Fun start. How's it going? Yay. Okay, not yay. Ooh. Ooh. I can hold back, but any spell he plays, yeah, you know what? I should. Swifty. Alright. Kill that. We put away the velocity. Get another Fable. It came back anyways. Our 2/2 is probably just gonna die, yeah. Here's more rage. Is this really a good game? I don't think I can get to that mana, right? If I can't get to this mana, there's no need to hold on to either of these cards. If I could get to the mana though, now it's interesting, right? This turn I can get to 4? Assuming I played a Fable. Honestly, like, I don't want any of these cards, so let's just toss these. This is interesting. This means I might be able to get there. Another Nemo. Oh. Another Screamo Nemo too. Toss 2 cards. What can we get? Torch and Transmog. Transmog is fun. Torch is slightly less fun, but I guess you can do it. I can get a treasure. I deal 3 damage, he does 3 damage to my face. I don't want that. Manifold Mouse. Horrified Hero. Briefcase. I mean, this just draws me a card. It's not doing much. Oh, it doesn't even draw me a card. I can attack, and he blocks, then what? Then I lose the 15-15. We'll get some chump out there. Not trample. Nah, I could not keep the Kijiki, huh? If I can keep the Kijiki, it's a different story. Ooh. That is damage. Let's just get it done. We trample it. It don't matter, we trample it. Oh, 0. GG. You don't get to respond with your Nemos. Goodbye. Alright, our opponent is Blue Sphere. What kind of red deck are you playing? Blue Sphere? Goes first. This is a major yikes hand, but we'll see. Do I want to keep Valka? Start with the Verge. I can torch something if I need to. They do have blue, so this is a deck. Astrologian Sphere. Kill creatures when we can. That's the whole idea. Alright. I mean, it might be something, it might also not be something, because we might be able to transmog, but you could just bounce it. Then we lose all of our temple. Or you still cut her. You're just gonna kill our 1/1 too. Yeah. can always just do that as well. Careful Cultivation. Now that's interesting, because I will need that. But they have bounce spells and have counter spells. I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing much hope. They're holding up a counter spell? They're holding up something. Maybe it's a burn. It is a burn. I mean, I could play this as a land. Let's make another 1/1. He does have a pretty big creature there. Treasure Cruise. Whoa, he's got 2 cards in the graveyard. Second Courier steal. Gonna get pretty big. Just straight up attack. I didn't feel like there was anything else, right? He's got 1 blue mana. Let's check priority. I felt like there wasn't any priority. Here's our Wurm. I'm gonna hold the Soulkism. Is he gonna be able to get there? It'd be pretty scary if he does. This is trampled though, so gotta be careful, right? Still. Not turning down to 15 damage. Bring him down to 2. We'll get another Courier's Briefcase. Good chump. Soga's gonna give me 2 1/1s. Into the Flood Maw on my 1/1. We're down to 3. What's his last card? Oh, it's nothing is what it is. Worldspine Wurm gets us there. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those spiny games, how does this deck feel? I love combo decks. I love these kind of combo decks where it is kind of fringe. It's kind of, you know, on the edge of, or on the cusp of being good or bad, which makes it really fun to play, I think. And, you know, all the games I played today, I was having a lot of fun, except against those dumb rat decks. And I did fight a few of them, right? The turn 1 rat, turn 2 rat. I hate those decks. I hate those decks with a passion. But it is what it is because, well, you know, Arena's going to have them because some idiot designed them. I'm never going to take that back. Whoever designed those rats should be fired from Wizard. All right, anyways, coming back to this, here's what we needed. I thought about this combo, and it's kind of a you know, too many steps sort of combo with Transmog, Worldspine, or Terminal Velocity, Worldspine. It's too many steps to not win on the turn that it comes in, right? To Transmogrify into a Worldspine Wurm plus a Bitter Reunion, yeah, we can win that way. That's a little bit tricky, but we can do it. Terminal Velocity into a Worldspine Wurm just doesn't win at all because we cheat out a 15-15. So what? Our opponent's at 20, sometimes 18 or 17, but not 15, so this attack won't kill them. And that is an issue that I have to learn to play around. I haven't figured out how yet, but I have to learn to play around. Now, there's a few things that we can adjust in this deck to help us get there. I think 4 terminal velocity might be a little bit too much. We can go down to 3. I think I'll be fair. I don't think we need 4. And I think 2 Valka might be too much. And I think we can cut a Carpusan Forest. So I think we're going to cut the terminal velocity down to 3. We'll cut a Carpusan Forest. I think we have enough lands. So that's at least 2 cards. If I want to, I can cut a Valcut. Or if you want to, you can cut a Valcut. I wouldn't cut anything else in this deck, right? And I would put in 2. Yeah, I'm sorry I have to say this. We got to put in 2 Karens. Where is he? I think I spelled it right. Screaming Nemesis. I know it's just a 3/3 haste that does damage whenever it's dealt damage, and a lot of opponents using this against us. But I do think it's beautiful in this. It's it is a card that allows us to put the Worldspine Wurm out and with terminal velocity and die. And deal 15 damage to our opponent. But it will be a non-bull with Transmogrify. So when you cast Transmogrify, you won't be able to get the Worldspine Wurm. Sometimes you'll get the Screaming Nemesis, which is a lot less fun, right? So that is something to think about. I don't know if it's necessary to include that many. Maybe I will include 1 just to increase our chance of doing the Nemesis plus terminal velocity and decrease our chance of the Transmogrify and Worldspine Wurm combo. There's another card that we have from the new set. I think it's called Pink for All. It turns our creature into a Screaming Nemesis. When this R enters, enchant creature deal damage equal to its power to any other target, and whenever enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals damage to each opponent. So we could cast Pink for All onto a Worldspine Wurm. It does 15 damage to itself, and in turn it will deal 15 damage to everybody else. Right? So it's something that could work. And I am not quite sure how well it can do. But again, that's something that I still am trying to fine-tune. Right now, this version is fine, but when you play this version, you do have to try to, Mutable, attack them down to 15 before you Worldspine Wurm onto a terminal velocity for that 1-turn lethal. And in current Pioneer, if you're not doing a 1-turn lethal, your opponent might do a 1-turn lethal back on you. So that is tricky. Tricky, but fun to play, and that is something that I really like about this kind of deck. And that's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.